because what that'll do is not only will it work in Blackboard when you have the relative resource manager reference the CSS file, but you'll be able to see the actual look and feel of the custom login page when you use the regular links in Blackboard. And then also, if you're going to like reference files from a local web server, say if you have a special web server that you use to house files, the best thing to do is to actually have a secure web server, because as you probably noticed that sometimes Blackboard does have a problem when it has to display both secure and unsecure content on the same page. And so that's just kind of just a browser issue, mainly with Internet Explorer. But if you want to avoid those issues, you'd want to make sure that any files that you reference that are external are housed on a secure web server. And so the Blackboard widgets, these are basically kind of shortcuts that Blackboard uses to either replace a JavaScript or a name or some kind of value or variable. And so the first one is what they call a JavaScript fun login page. And all these widgets, you can actually find them in the Blackboard Administrator's Guide. There's a chapter, I think it's chapter 7 or 8. It's called the Branding chapter. But it walks through all the different, from customizing at the institution level to at the server level. But basically, these widgets change depending on what level you want to use them at. But so we're going to focus on the institution level. And so the first one, this JavaScript Fun Login page, what it basically does is it replaces that with all the JavaScript used to authenticate the login form. And then as well, if you either have if you let your students create their own accounts, this will actually handle the JavaScript behind that. So there's a couple things that it replaces. It actually adds a fair amount of JavaScript from that one little shortcut. And then obviously the error message displays any error messages that you get. Say if you put in an incorrect username and password, or just submit the form without filling in any of the fields, this will return and let you know what's going on. And then the form name, basically what that does is that that allows that JavaScript that's created from that first widget to find all the form fields and everything that it needs. And then the hidden field, it replaces it. What the hidden fields have is a couple bits of information. One is called the GLICD number. That's just kind of another way of identifying your institution, as well as your institution ID and your institution name. And those are three things that you do need so that when you do put in your credentials and hit the submit button, it knows which institution to send it to if you have multiple institutions using the Blackboard instance, such as like how the Utah Education Network supplies it for all the public schools or public universities. And so the final two are just the input fields for the WebCT ID, which could be your username, or we call it our C number because that's what's linked to a unique identification number for our students, and then obviously your password. And so basically you need all these elements within your login page so that it will function correctly. If you leave one element out, usually your login page fails and won't work. So all these widgets are vital, and they kind of feed off of one another. So they're that kind of makes it doubly important. Okay. So I'm going to jump into the demonstration. Hopefully it won't take too much time. But we're going to look at how we find the file information so that we can use it in the Relative Resource Manager, as well as getting the WebDAV information so that we can set up Dreamweaver so that we can use the WebDAV to build our page. And then the next part I'll go into to show you how to set up the custom login page, and that's under the branding settings of the administration section. And then as well, I've included some supplemental material that I just really couldn't include without going over. And that's at http://fac.cu.edu/SWBUG10. Basically, that has some links to the CSS files, and I've included a little shortcut file that I use to build my custom login page, as well as what the final login page will look like as well. And then there's also a short little video on how I customized the grid system, as well as how to get that CSS reset system. And so I'm going to take a few seconds to get AppShare going. And this may be a little bit kind of hard to see because I'll just share it through the screen. So you may have to adjust the screen size. Let me make sure that Dreamweaver is going. Okay. And all right. Where'd that go? There it is. Okay. Sorry about that. It took a little bit of time. Can everybody see what's on my screen if I just have the AppShare window up there? Okay. All right. For the first part, I'm actually going to go into and open up Firefox and then go to one of our testing environments that we have available to us. And let me resize this. And so all right.